Welcome back. We are just around the corner from the first Republican presidential debate. Former President Donald Trump remaining the front runner, and recent polls leading some campaigns to take a look at their strategy in order to gain traction on the leaderboard.
So for more on this, let's welcome in former Pennsylvania Senator, senior advisor at the Convention of States, and Newsmax contributor Rick Santorum. Senator, thank you so much for being here. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is resetting his campaign yet again. This from AP saying Republicans worry his message is getting in the way. What do you make of his recent campaign layoffs, and what message that he has to rely on? It seems like he's going to this war on woke, and is it working?
Well, first off, my heart goes out to Ron DeSantis in this respect. When I ran for president, I had the great fortune of being at 1% for when I got into the race. And you'd say, well, wait a minute, that's terrible. 1% is horrible. It is horrible. But when you're at 1%, you're going around campaigning and you're delivering your message. The press isn't really paying much attention to you, and the experts aren't paying much attention to you. And you really have an opportunity as you go to Iowa and New Hampshire, and they're different places, and the messages are tweaked a little differently because you're talking about different issues that matter to people. And you get an opportunity to hone your message, get feedback, have that iterative process, learn a little bit about your staff and how well people are doing without anybody watching every move you make. Well, DeSantis has been under a microscope, and as a result of that, look, every campaign has fits and starts and has message issues. The question is, how much intensity of media is covering it, and DeSantis, by being the alternative to Trump early on, really was in that fishbowl, and he went through what I would argue almost every campaign goes through, but in his case, every little glitch got major coverage. So The question here is, there's still plenty of time. If you look at the Iowa voter, look at voters nationwide, half of Trump's supporters say they're open to somebody else. It's still an open race. And at this point, with him, the only one, at least in Iowa, running in double digits, there's still an opportunity for him to bounce back.
Yeah, you're right. It's so early. But I want to ask you, because you mentioned, people who were low in polls. So if you look at some of the other candidates, right, we have Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley. And when you look at that roster, do you think has a chance to really jump ahead and could potentially, take over maybe DeSantis in the polls, moving forward?
Yeah, you mentioned two of them. I would also mention Vivek Ramaswamy. He is connected with people in the early primary states. I mean, he's a dynamic personality, young guy, has some really new and interesting ideas. Ideas matter. And one of the things that I think that DeSantis has been a little short on is really ideas and laying out agenda. He's started to do that in the last couple of weeks. Nikki has laid out, particularly on the national security front, some ideas. Tim Scott, as I see there, is another person who connects personally very, very well. Again, if you look at Tim, his message is sort of repetitive. He doesn't sort of stay off the script. And that's something he's going to have to break away from. If he's going to break out, he's got to be able to focus on different things, not just tell his story. But again, all of this is an iterative process for everybody, and you're seeing that dynamic in play. And when someone hits a message and someone has a moment, and that moment usually happens in a debate, then you'll see the opportunity to rise. People say, well, there have been candidates rising and falling. Well, there haven't been any debates. Usually when those moments come, they come when a broad group of people see you and then begin to follow you, and you pick up some momentum.
Yeah, we'll see that in a couple of weeks. We know the Iowa Fair is this weekend. I know we'll be talking to you more about that next week. Senator Rick Santorum, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Of course.